Making a difference in your community can be tricky. Where do you start, and what should you even do? An initiative through Volunteer Manitoba is helping youth achieve that goal, making a difference in their community. Small or big, every project can make a difference. 3 members of a 5-person team project shared why they wanted to get active in their neighborhood.
Normally Gloria would be here because she's the program coordinator, but she's actually back home visiting family. So she's got a little bit of a vacation right now. But I'm here to fill in the steps as I've been through this whole process overseeing this program.
I'm Vicky. I'm a compliance analyst with the CRA, and I'm working with my group of friends on a project this summer, Personal Finance for Black Youths.
My name is Fungi. I guess I am one of 5 projects co-founder people. I guess I work for the government of Manitoba as a policy analyst, and I'm involved with community work on a volunteer basis.
You can say with confidence that you're a part of this group.
Exactly. You're
a founding member of this group. That's amazing.
Yeah, you're making a difference in the community. That's something that's really impressive.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi, Ryan. Hey, everyone else. Nice to meet you. And thank you for the opportunity to do this interview. My name is Bumi Afolabi, and you can see there's a similar name. We're sisters, and we live in the same house. But yeah, I'm currently a graduate student at the University of Winnipeg in a Masters of Development program. And I'm also working with NEEDS, which is Newcomer Employment Education Development Services. And also a member of this group who is doing a community project on financial literacy this summer.
So how about we go back to a representative from Volunteer Manitoba to describe a little bit about what exactly this initiative is, as well as all the finalists who were selected for this amazing project.
Volunteer Manitoba is always looking for different projects that we can help kickstart. And so when RBC Future Launch approached us to put together a project, we thought, what better way to get youth involved than to give a little bit of Kickstarter money to be able to get projects off the ground. And that's how we got the idea of the Community Youth Innovators program. We had well over 20 applications or more, so it was really hard to just choose 6. Our finalists range from the ladies that are here today, providing financial literacy to Black youth in our province. We've got groups of youth that are doing programming for newcomers in Brandon. We have another group that's doing mental health resources for people in the north of Manitoba, specifically at Aposcoate Cree Nation. We have a group of youth that is doing work in Winnipeg's inner city, providing water stations during the hot months in the summer. And I think I'm missing 2 more examples. Yes, I am. Or 1 more example, or 2 more, yeah. We have another group of youth that are doing soccer programming, specifically for newcomer youth as well. And then our last group is doing accessibility programming for Manitobans for teachers across Manitoba to how to make their gym classes more accessible. So we have a variety of different projects that got accepted. But we only had to choose 6, and it was quite hard.
Whenever it comes to community involvement or community initiatives, it's so hard to choose when it's just such a limited amount, because all of them are beneficial for our communities. I know recently, though, I guess not recently anymore, but about, I think it was May 6th and 7th, so that first weekend in May, there was a training session. I guess let's just kind of go around and just tell me, how did that go, and was it what you expected?
The training session was really helpful. We had sessions that really just helped us plan. We had started planning a little bit of our project since the spring, but then having that training session helped us know exactly what to focus on. We had a session on engaging volunteers because we are having extra facilitators who are professionals in their field, come in, and we hadn't really thought to treat them as volunteers, So having that session really helped us see that, okay, these facilitators that we're having coming in are indeed volunteers, and we should be showing them appreciation in different ways, and we should be ensuring that we're using all the skills that they bring to the table in a way that is beneficial for them, as well. And I think one of our favorite sessions was with Allison, where we went through marketing strategies. And I feel like everyone at our table, our mind were just blown. We were so just engaged with all the information that she had to provide, all the expertise, that she had. I think she had over like 20 years, in the marketing space. And that was just really beneficial for us. And we were even able to connect with her after the event. We also had, I think, a session on like planning our critical path. And it really helped us like break down everything in our project into like bite-sized chunks. Cause it's like, okay, fine, we're going to have like workshops. And we just had like this big idea that we wanted to do. And that session really helped us okay, step one, this, we have to do this. If we don't do this, the project is going to fail. If we don't do this one, we're still going to be okay, So it helped us really see what was important, what was critical, and what were the things that were just like nice to have. Am I missing any other sessions? I know those those three major sessions really helped us to better focus our planning, and it helped us to appreciate more the volunteers that we would have involved in the project. So I think, those 2 days for us was really engaging in terms of learning, and also for networking. We got to meet other youths across Manitoba, people who we wouldn't meet in our everyday lives. And that was really amazing for us, to get to meet new people.
Either of you two like to add anything else about, maybe, was it what you expected going in, maybe something that you've learned, or maybe something that you're like, this is something maybe we should tackle on now as we're heading into creating some of these community initiatives?
Yeah, sure. I can speak to that a little bit. But just before that, I also want to say it was kind of nice to have a mini staycation in your city. And shout out to Volunteer Manitoba for like hosting us at the Hyatt House. It's not publicity, but it was a really nice space and just like good to get away. But yeah, I think what it was like what we expected. We know that we were going to get more information and training on how to run a successful project for the summer. And I think one unexpected thing that came out of it, which Vicky touched on a bit, was that we found out that kind of some of our work was a bit interconnected. So, for example, the group from Brandon that's doing a newcomer program were also in their schedule. They had like a day for like doing recreation, and they connected with the group who was running the soccer program. Like, oh, you guys could come to Brandon and like actually run, maybe like just a game for the time that we're doing our program. And also, so the soccer guys program as well, like, oh, some of our youth would also be interested in learning financial literacy and knowing how to handle their finances. So just like having that connection, and also, knowing the importance of collaborating with other people. We're not in competition. Collaboration is always good, because at the end of the day, the goal is to serve the community, and make that change. So
isn't that just the most interesting thing? Like, even if your community's apart, an idea can still have some sort of interconnection to it.
That was the piece that I was going to add, is that networking and connection doesn't matter where or how your projects are different. There's still ways that you can connect with people.
The very important thing about this conversation is the projects that you're going to be creating over the summer through the help of friends, family, community members. So let's just quickly go around the circle to describe exactly what you're doing and maybe go a little bit into detail about why exactly you chose that sort of initiative or project.
Who wants to go first?
Fumi, go ahead?
Yeah, sure. I can start. So our project this summer is a personal financial literacy project for newcomer Black youth to Manitoba. So that's looking at immigrants, refugees, and international students. We are focusing on the ages 18 to 30. And we're hoping to bring in, like Vicky had said, professionals in the field of finance to deliver workshops that would be interactive and people or participants can gain knowledge that they can then apply into their own lives. So it's about 6 weeks long, and it would be like on the weekends. And a bit about why we decided to do this project. When we originally had seen the call for proposals, we had a few different options on our plates. We had also considered like a career mentorship type of program, as well as the finance one. And I guess why we decided to go with the finance was because we realized that while there were quite a few career oriented type training or mentorship that were out there, there weren't really much of financial training that was targeted at youth in particular. There's a bunch that look at families and adults, but not necessarily at youth. So that's why we decided to go with this project. But also in addition, it was like a personal decision for most of us. Our group, we have first generation immigrants and international students in our group. And this was a skill I would say that we found was lacking when we were starting out into adulthood, and like we didn't really have access to resources. We didn't really have anyone that was like, okay, this is what a credit card is. This is what you do with a credit card. It's not free money. You actually have to pay it back every month or you get charged. So things like that. And we thought, we've been presented this opportunity and we would like to give back to the community in this way. Yeah, and I think that's the basics of it. I will let others speak to it as well.
The program is geared towards Black youth, and we are hoping that they can gain basic knowledge of financial literacy. We, like a lot of studies have shown, just throughout Canada, that newcomer and particularly Black or Indigenous youth fare poorly in terms of financial literacy and just financial management in general. So this is a way to bridge that gap a little bit and provide Black newcomer youth with the skills to make smart financial decisions and also like close some of that economic gap, financial literacy gap. And I think also another thing that was important for us in creating this project is to have representation of, Black people of color in for our facilitators and also for the coordinators, because having someone that looks like you goes a long way in building that confidence, in knowing that, okay, this person is speaking to me. There's some cultural context in that as well, in creating materials for the workshop that you may not necessarily get from going to a bank, which is a huge institution, and being able to talk to people that you meet there. So having that representation is also a key part for us. And we're also having our mentors. We're working closely with Congress of Black Women Manitoba, which will provide mentorship for us throughout this project. And they already do a lot of community work, particularly with the youth population as well. So having that organization and having the mentorship from the leaders in that group is also a good way to help us build our leadership skills as well, and to ensure that we are able to achieve our goal for this project.
when you're going in, whether you're talking to a financial advisor to get a loan or creating your own or your first bank account, or if you're moving to a new financial institution, it is so scary. So yeah, having representation, having that background knowledge, that literacy can go such a long way. So it's really cool that you are creating this project to help in that sector. In terms of community involvement, why was this important to you to get involved with Volunteer Manitoba? What is it about community engagement, creating community initiatives that's important to all of you?
I am an avid volunteer since I kind of moved here and like discovered, that you can actually put your time into helping to support community and supporting programs. So that has always been a part of who I am. And funny enough, I actually, because we've been in a pandemic, so physical volunteering hasn't been possible for many organizations. And going into this year, I actually had on my vision board, Volunteer Manitoba, that I wanted to do more volunteering this year. Yeah, like my sister knows because she was there when I was making my vision board. So when I came about the opportunity from, it was shared within my school network. I was like, oh my God, this is so perfect. We totally should look into applying for this. And this is something that amongst ourselves, we've always talked about doing community work like we do in our own little pockets where we are. So it's like, oh, this is a perfect opportunity. And I think it would go a really long way to help us kickstart some of the initiatives that we want to implement. So yeah, it's just like really important to me to be able to use my skills to help provide that support, help provide that knowledge. Particularly, I also want to provide that visibility, especially in the Black community, that, you can see people who look like you who are doing this work, if that's something that you aspire to do. And also if, you need someone again to like talk to that you feel will understand what you're going through. So that's why this project is really important for me and like really close to my heart.
Personally, for me, I have benefited from other community projects, especially in high school. Having after-school clubs was a place that I felt like I could belong with. I could be with kids my age doing little projects that, we enjoyed doing and giving back to the community. And now I know in university, I didn't have like a lot of time to volunteer. It wasn't something that was on my radar as much. And now that I'm working full time, it's like I have all this time and all this, experience and all this skill that I really want to put to good use to create a difference, to give back to my community, because I have benefited, from these types of programs before.
To add to that, I've actually in the past found a volunteer opportunity through Volunteer Manitoba. Last year, before I went back to school, there was a posting for like the Manitoba Leagues of Persons with Disability, and I was able to volunteer with that board. So I knew that Volunteer Manitoba, like they were doing good work in like putting out volunteer opportunities and like being involved in the community. So yeah, like once the opportunity came up, I was like, okay, this is a organization that I have been able to be impacted by or be positively impacted by. I'm forgetting the word I'm trying to remember. So yeah, I felt comfortable being a part of that organization or working with them to be able to provide this kind of resource into a community where we had identified a gap. And then just like my personal history with volunteering, I guess, I'm like my sister, an avid volunteer. I've been volunteering since high school, and I just find it more meaningful. Like, I work and I feel like at work, there's a limit to like how much I feel like I'm contributing. But when it's small community type volunteering, I feel like I can see better the impact of what I'm doing. So for me, that's just how volunteering is different, and it's very meaningful to me. It's something I care deeply about, and we are hoping that even past the summer, we will still be able to keep on with this program and even add different new programs to it as we go on.
I guess the question there would be, you three are getting involved in your communities, making a difference. As we're seeing in the world today, it's a struggle out there for some, and there's a lot we can do. How do we inspire others to get involved in their communities as well? Whether that be me or someone else on the street that are seeing some gaps within the systems.
It doesn't have to be a big thing. You don't have to do a big thing. You don't have to start a big company. You don't have to donate $1,000. You don't have to serve food to 100 people. You can just do something small. I think our workshops, we're aiming to reach 25 youths. We're not aiming to, educate the entire population of Black youths in Manitoba. I think it's difficult to start something if you think, you have to do something big. So just starting small. So just encouraging people to, if it's just a little thing you can do in your community, you see someone that needs a hand, if it's just that little difference you can make in one person's life, it's definitely worth it. It's not everyone that can reach 1,000 people. Sometimes it's just that one person next to you that you can help. Sometimes it's just the 25 people who are going to sign up for our webinars, that we can, help this summer. So yeah, just starting small.
Yeah, and I think just adding to that, I think it's important to identify your area of interest. It's difficult to give time and give yourself to something that you're not particularly interested in or don't particularly care deeply about. But if you identify a specific, doesn't matter if it's, just cleaning up your community or picking garbage from the street, just one place, one thing that you care about, and just figuring out, okay, I really care about this. I really care about seeing where I live look nice and clean, and figuring out how best to go about doing that. And I think that's a good start, because it can be very overwhelming if you want to do really, really big volunteering work, but just starting from very, very small detail and then working your way up would be my advice.
Another part of that is you inspire other people by doing. So if people, see you doing community work, see you being engaged in the community, you can also inspire them to want to do as well. So just show the work that you're doing, talk to people about it. Volunteer Manitoba has a great website. They have an Instagram page. You can share this Saturday I'm going to be doing so and so. And I think people who see that will be inspired by the work that you're doing. And if you can also explain the impacts that it's having, not just for the community, but also for yourself, and how that helps to make things better. I think people always want to at least do something good. So that's one way in which you can inspire people too.
It's very similar to making self-improvements as well. Whenever you're talking about New Year's resolution, the reason they fail is because a lot of people go way too big, way too fast. It's all about small habits. If you normally leave your clothes on the floor, you just pick them up, put them in the bin, and eventually that becomes a habit, and you can build from there. It's very similar to community engagement and community projects. You start small, and from there you build a coalition of talented and engaged individuals like yourselves to make a difference, and it can slowly grow and grow and grow from there. Question for you, Camila. When we're looking at these three young women getting involved in their community, I guess just what is your thoughts seeing them take on a project like this and wanting to be involved?
We love it. That's what we're here, and they all spoke so gracefully about I wish I took those clip-its and we can put them in our presentations at Volunteer Manitoba, because for the past 40 years as a volunteer center, we do presentations and we do outreach across the province to get people involved in volunteerism, and hearing what these women have said about how to get involved in your community, the importance of getting involved in your community, and how it does make a difference. It just goes to show that our province, we're the second highest rate of volunteerism in Canada, and this is just proof to that. We care about our communities, and young people, especially in Manitoba, do want to get involved and are here to get involved.
It's exciting to see the younger generations being incredibly engaged, incredibly passionate about all sorts of issues, regardless whether it's like financial sectors, civil rights, human rights. Like, it is just incredible. And a big shout out to the three of you for wanting to get involved in your communities. I guess just what are your hopes to come from this this initiative? For those who would like to participate, where can they go to find out more?
I should briefly mention that there is 5 of us in this group. 2 of them were not able to join the interview today, so it's just more than the 3 of us. So shout out to you, Barbara and Victoria.
Of course.
But to answer your question, what we're hoping to get out of this project is to, most importantly, just increase just a little bit of that financial literacy, like even if it's just the basic of knowing what's the difference between a debit and a credit card, and you're able to use that information to make smart financial decisions. That's a win in our book. Like Vicky said, we're not trying to turn anybody into millionaires at the end of the summer. We just want to lay those building blocks of financial literacy. And with regards to how you can find out more about the project, we're going to be starting our marketing soon. We don't have it out yet, and it'll have all the information regarding like registration and what types of workshops that we're running. So once that's out, we can share them with you. If you'd like to help us with a bit of promotion, that would be great. But that's my answer.
I'm sure if you look on the Congress of Black Women, we will be sharing our posters on there. So keep an eye out. Congress of Black Women, they have an Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm sure they have a Facebook. And I'm sure Camila and the group Volunteer Manitoba will be hoping to helping us share some of our posters as well. So you can hop up there as well. But yeah, I think for me, I think financial literacy is just part of overall well-being. And as we all know, the past couple of years has been difficult for a lot of people. And I think just being able to have that confidence in your ability to make good financial decisions. And if it's just like a couple people who are able to, at the end of the workshop, feel more confident that they have taken knowledge away from that workshop, I think again that would be a win for me.
And also in the future, we are hoping to continue having workshops like this, maybe even a career mentorship form of thing. So having a win as well would be, people after this series of workshops being interested in, seeing more from us.
I'm really excited to see how this initiative all goes.
And I didn't want to cut anyone off, but yes, you can follow Volunteer Manitoba on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We will be posting updates from the group. Each one of the groups will have a specific page on our website, and it will be posted on our social media for you to follow. So you'll get a little snippet about all the groups.
If you have any stories you'd like us to share or communities we should highlight, leave a comment on our social media, reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.